When we look at the numbers, I'll just do like a really quick scenario for you. When we look at the numbers and when we look at what the WNBA has earned over the past years and the entirety of the WNBA, the numbers actually make sense.
Picture this. It's March 26, 2023. The air in the arena is thick with tension. Caitlin Clark steps onto the court, her Iowa jersey feeling heavier than usual. She's been here before, but those past March Madness runs, they ended in heartbreak.
My teammates get even better, be better for my teammates, and I know there's a lot of room for me to continue to improve.
Now she's facing Louisville in the Elite Eight, and everyone's watching. The game starts and Louisville comes out swinging. They're up early and you can see the doubt creeping into Iowa fans' faces. But then something clicks for Clark. She hits a deep three, then another and another. Suddenly, it's not just a game anymore. It's a show, and Caitlin Clark is the star. Want to know how she turned it all around? Keep watching. You know what's wild? Caitlin Clark wasn't always the unstoppable force we see today.
A global platform now that Caitlin will have coming into the professional ranks. So it's really a great time to be in basketball.
Let's rewind a bit and talk about her journey to basketball stardom. Picture this. It's 2021 and Clark's just a freshman at Iowa. She's making waves, sure, but the big stage of March Madness, that's a whole different ballgame. Clark and her team fought hard that year, but their dreams came crashing down in the Sweet 16. They faced off against UConn, led by the phenomenal Paige Buchers. It was a tough loss, but hey, there's always next year, right? Fast forward to 2022. Clark's a sophomore now, and expectations are through the roof. Everyone's thinking this is her year. But sometimes March Madness lives up to its name in the worst way possible. Iowa, a 2nd seed, faced Creighton, a 10th seed. On paper, it should have been an easy win, but basketball isn't played on paper. Creighton pulled off the upset, and just like that, Clark's season was over in the 2nd round. Can you imagine the disappointment? Now it's 2023, and Clark's walking into that arena with 2 years of March Madness heartbreak weighing her down. The pressure's insane. Every fan, every analyst, every opponent is wondering, can she finally break through, or will this be another year of what could have been?
So Caitlin's rookie salary is a little over $300,000 for 4 years, and that's all that she's going to make in the WNBA. Now, I feel like there could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us.
But here's the kicker. Louisville's no joke. They've got Hailey Van Lith, who made it to the Final Four last year, something Clark's never done. You can bet that's playing on Clark's mind as she steps onto the court. The game starts, and it's like deja vu all over again. Louisville comes out swinging, and before you know it, they're up by 8. Van Lith's on fire, scoring 8 quick points. Clark's probably thinking, oh no, not again. You can almost feel the tension in the air, the collective holding of breath from Iowa fans, but then something clicks. It's like Clark decides enough is enough. She starts cooking, and I mean really cooking. In a blink, she scores 7 straight points. Just like that, it's a 1-point game. The crowd goes from nervous silence to a deafening roar. That roar, it was about to turn into a full-blown earthquake. Clark wasn't just hot, she was about to reach a temperature that would melt the scoreboard. But here's the real kicker. What if I told you her scoring wasn't even the most impressive part of what came next? So Clark's warmed up now, but you haven't seen anything yet. She starts pulling up from way beyond the arc, and I'm not talking about a step or two. We're in Steph Curry territory here. The crowd's going nuts, and can you blame them? It's like watching a video game come to life. Louisville tries to stop her, but it's like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands. They're doubling her every time she touches the ball. But guess what? It doesn't matter. Clark's not just scoring anymore. She's dishing out assists like a magician pulling rabbits out of a hat. Her teammates are getting wide open looks, and they're cashing in. You know what's crazy? For the first 7 minutes of the 2nd quarter, every single Iowa point is either scored or assisted by Clark. That's not normal, folk. That's not even superhuman. That's like, I don't even know what to call it. It's Caitlin Clark basketball, and we're all just living in her world. The lead grows to 12, and Louisville's coach, Jeff Walls, looks like he's seen a ghost. What do you even say to your team at this point? Hey, can someone please guard the girl who's scoring from another zip code? It's not like they aren't trying. They're throwing everything they've got at her, but Clark's just on another level. By halftime, Clark's got 21 points and 7 assists. But you want to know the craziest part? You can tell she's just getting started. It's like watching a boxer in the early rounds, feeling out their opponent before going for the knockout. The question isn't if Clark can win anymore. It's how high she can set the bar. Clark had set the stage, but the drama was far from over. You might think a 12-point lead is comfortable, right? Wrong. What unfolded next would push Clark to limits she didn't even know she had, turning a potential blowout into a test of true greatness. As the second half kicked off, Louisville wasn't about to roll over and accept defeat. They came out swinging, determined to make this a game to remember, and boy, did they deliver. Hailey Van Lith, Louisville's star player, suddenly found her rhythm. She was hitting shots from all over the court, making plays, and energizing her team. The momentum momentum shifted so fast, you could almost feel the whiplash. Before anyone could blink, that comfortable 12-point lead, gone, vanished. Poof, just like that, it was a 1-point game again. The crowd was on edge, their earlier excitement replaced by nervous energy. You could cut the tension with a knife. Everyone was thinking the same thing. Is Clark gonna fold under this pressure? But here's where legends are made, folks. Clark didn't panic. She didn't start forcing shots or making reckless plays. No, she stayed cool as a cucumber. It was like she took a deep breath and said, okay, game on. And then boom, it was like Clark flipped some kind of superhuman switch. She started scoring from everywhere. At the rim, check. From beyond the arc, you bet. At the free throw line, money. Louisville tried everything to stop her, but it was like trying to catch lightning in a bottle. The cameras caught some wild scenes during this stretch. Louisville players were so desperate to guard Clark that they were literally crashing into each other. It was pure chaos out there. But Clark, she was in her element, weaving through defenders like they were standing still. You know what's insane? In just one quarter, Clark turned that nail-biting 1-point game into a 20-point blowout. That's not normal, folks. That's not even exceptional. That's entering a whole new realm of basketball brilliance. Just when you thought Clark had shown us everything, the fourth quarter rolled around. And let me tell you, what happened next wasn't just basketball. It was pure magic. Could Clark really outdo herself yet again? Turns out, the answer was a resounding yes. Clark stepped onto the court for the final quarter with a fire in her eyes that said, I'm not done yet. And boy, was she not kidding. She started raining threes like it was nothing, pulling up from distances that would make Steph Curry proud. The crowd, they were losing their minds. Even Sue Bird, watching from the stands, couldn't hide her amazement. But Louisville wasn't about to go down without a fight. They started getting physical, hitting Clark on every play. You'd think that would slow her down, right? Nope, Clark was in the zone, completely locked in. It was like she didn't even feel the contact. She just kept scoring, assisting, and rebounding like a woman possessed. Now, here's where things get really wild. There had never been a 30-point triple-double in NCAA tournament history. Not in the men's game, not in the women's game. Never. And Clark, she was just 2 rebounds away from making it happen. The clock was ticking down, and everyone in the arena knew what was at stake. The energy was electric. With just a few minutes left, Clark grabbed those last 2 rebounds. The crowd erupted in a roar so loud you'd think the roof was about to come off. They knew they'd just witnessed history, but Clark wasn't done. She kept pushing, kept scoring, kept dominating. When the final buzzer sounded, the scoreboard told a story that would be talked about for years to come. Clark had finished with a mind-blowing stat line: 41 points, 10 rebounds, and 12 assists. A 40-point triple-double in the Elite 8. Let that sink in for a moment. That's not just breaking records, that's shattering them into a million pieces. So Caitlin Clark didn't just win a game, she rewrote the entire playbook. She took what we thought was possible in college basketball and blew it out of the water. But here's the kicker. This is just the beginning. Clark's headed to the WNBA, and you better believe she's got her sights set on bigger things. Sure, the pros are a whole different ball game, tougher competition, higher stakes. But if you think that's going to slow Clark down, you haven't been paying attention. The real question isn't if she can dominate, it's how high she can set the bar. We're talking about a player who could redefine greatness in women's basketball. So buckle up, folks. The Caitlin Clark Show is just getting started, and trust me, you don't want to miss a single minute.